changing the way that millions of people think about abortion. Hillary Clinton is going to be running for president next year, right? You know what Hillary Clinton says about abortion?
What?
She says it's a tragic choice. This is not helping the stigma. This is not helping the taboo. It is not helping when you have an apologetic approach and you have leaders of the Democratic Party talking about abortion like it's a necessary evil. The fact of the matter is, abortion is not murder, and women are not incubators. And if you believe that, it's time to fight back. It's time to take it on yourself. It's time for us to take it on ourselves. To speak out and raise our sights beyond just keeping the rights that we have as they're quickly diminishing, beyond that. And to lift our sights to abortion on demand and without apology. Because there's nothing wrong with abortion. And actually, forced motherhood is female enslavement. It's been far too long that the right has held the moral high ground on this issue. That's bullshit. These are people who hate science. These are people who hate the fact that women are acting in independent ways. That women have entered different spheres of society in recent years. They hate that. And they will say it if they're pressed. But you know what? What they'll also say is that they stand for life. That's equally bullshit. And this is part of the need to reclaim the moral high ground. This fight for abortion rights, for birth control, for women's liberation, this fight has never been about babies. It has always been about control over women. The Supreme Court made two illegitimate decisions this week, and that should reveal something to everyone who considers themselves to be pro-choice. It should reveal that they do not represent the interests of masses of women across this country, and certainly not masses of women around the world. So I urge you to come speak out with us today. Different groups and different individuals who are outraged, who think this question is actually very clear and not complicated. Forced motherhood is female enslavement, and abortion is a moral choice. Abortion is a responsible choice. A child should not be a consequence, and a woman is not a life support system for the next generation. So I urge you, my name is Alex, and I'm here with Stop Patriarchy, and I urge you to check out the Abortion Rights Freedom Line to Texas this summer and to throw in. Because if there's one nodal point where it will matter more what people do or do not do, independently from the political system, changing the way that people think about abortion across this country is going to Texas this summer, is standing up unapologetically for abortion on demand. It's what it's going to take. They're going to decide this summer in Texas whether or not hospital admitting privileges are constitutional. These are laws that were developed in back rooms of Christian fascist organizations, looking at the country saying, how do we shut down abortion and make it impossible for women to access without having to go after the Constitution? That's their strategy. We have to get off the defensive, ideologically and politically. We got to get out of the pattern of just trying to defend every local area in isolation. And we need a national counteroffensive against these attacks on abortion and birth control. It shouldn't be surprising that once they've opened the door to banning abortion across this country, that now they're going after birth control. Because it's not about babies. Because it's always been about a position for women that they want to see reinforced. This is a backlash against the advances that women have made. And if you are a person who don't identify with that pattern, if you don't identify with that agenda, you got to take responsibility to do something. Because there is not a ruling Democrat and there is not a court right now that is doing what's needed. Regardless of what you believe, whether or not you believe that there should be abortion available on demand, which we can make a pretty good argument for, if it's not murder, and if it gives women the option to decide the direction of their lives, and secures a whole different position for women in society, abortion on demand is just reasonable. But regardless what you think about that, if you don't want to see abortion made illegal, You need to throw in to this freedom ride to Texas. You need to stand up today, speak out from your perspective. What does it mean to you that the Supreme Court in 1 week made 2 decisions that make it so clear that the woman's ability to decide what she's going to do with her life means nothing? That this, you know, this religious freedom bullshit? Let me tell you about religious freedom. The UN is using religious freedom, this concept, in order to ban condoms in HIV-ridden countries in Africa. That's what they're doing with their fucking religious freedom. The idea, the question of whether or not women will be free needs to be central. We need to take to the streets and lift people's sights from just keeping what we have when it comes to women's rights to actually realizing the full liberation of women, and it's going to take the people to do it. Thank you.
I think there's a crowd building up here now. We've got about 100 people, maybe.
Okay.
We're down here at Palo Market in San Francisco. This is your interesting live streaming for dancing.
Okay, I'm kissing the mic here, folks. Here's some stuff I just want to add into the picture. Citizens United. That was the decision the Supreme Court made that said corporations are people. What happened this week is the next step. It said that a corporation has the rights of people. Corporations are entitled to religious freedom. Now, my understanding of the Constitution was that it was written for the people of the United States, not the corporations of the United States. So when they decided that corporations are people, then corporations have a right to religious freedom. That right to religious freedom could one day say that I, as a Jew, can be fired. That religious freedom can say that I, as a lesbian, can be fired. In fact, in a lot of states, it's still the rule that you don't have to hire me on account of that. But it goes further than that. People don't want abortion. Contraception is the way to avoid it.
Yeah.
If we had no right to contraception, the hypocrisy is very clear there. Right? We are forced to have, and I support, and have had an abortion. And I was so glad that the law had changed just a year or 2 before I needed it. Right? I come up from the time when abortion was illegal. When we did fundraising in the college dorms to get people into the city and hope that the person who was providing the abortion was clean. Right? I know that people died. People lost their mothers because abortion was illegal. People became sterile because they had abortion providers who were not trained. They were just in it for the money, as opposed to the women who were providing an abortion as an underground service. We don't want to go back to those days. We are headed there right now. But most importantly, it's our freedom to understand that women are people. Scalioto said it's the rights of women versus the rights of people. Okay, do we get that he does not see women as human beings? Let's hope we're all seeing each other as human beings here. When we do that, we can respect women's rights to their own bodies. What else?
Nancy, that's you.
You're going to bring up Nancy Mancias from Cold Pink Women for Peace.
All right, sisters and brothers, thank you for coming out this evening at the last minute. This is an amazing turnout. You're all so beautiful. But we are under attack as women. Not just women, but our LGBT community is under attack. The day after the Supreme Court's Hobby Lobby ruling, a group of religious leaders sent a letter to Obama asking that that he exempts them from a forthcoming executive order that would prohibit federal contractors from discriminating against LGBT people. This isn't the end. We want everyone to get together and join us in this fight. It's not over. We want to see the overturn of the Hobby Lobby ruling. We want to stop the war on women. So join us on July 16th at 7 p.m. Please pick up one of these flyers and join us at 2969 Mission Street for a meeting so we can talk about next steps. Also, I'm taking photos. If someone wants to come over and share your message as to why you are here today, we're going to go ahead and take photos and post them on the Facebook event page. Thanks. Next. And this is a speak out, so if anyone wants to come up and share your story, please come up. Go ahead and do so. Maybe share your first name.
What's up? My name's Nova, and I just want to say one quick thing about the anti-abortion movement, because I really don't like calling this the pro-life movement, right? So the anti-abortion movement, something that's very important to remember and to hold when you're thinking about this movement, is that there is not one single anti-abortion group in this country that is not against birth control. All of these groups are against birth control.
Exactly.
So it's no surprise, really, that they're coming after birth control. And these attacks on birth control, on abortion, these Supreme Court decisions, what they are is hate crimes against female bodies.
Yes.
Because what happens when abortion is not accessible is, yes, women die, but also women's lives get reduced to their biology. That's it. You don't even get to dream in the first place. Your dreams don't even come out the same way that they would. When you live in a world where you know that your body is not your own, that's real and that's dark, and we can't go back. And of course, like, I'm younger, I don't remember what it was like before Roe, but you can go around. I'm from a rural area, and I know what it's like to not know where to go to get an abortion. This is real, this is already happening, and it's been a state of emergency for a while. 90% of rural counties don't have abortion providers. People aren't using the word abortion, and the doctors are left isolated and they're murdered. So it's really time that we fight back, because not only can we win, but we really have to win, because the future and the dreams and actually the lives and survival of millions of women and young girls depend on us to win this fight, and now is the time to fight back, because if we don't, we're just going to give it up and wake up one morning and wonder where it went. So I'm all about calling on a new generation to join this fight, and I think that's really important. I talk about building a liberation generation, right? You see these anti-abortion people out here like, no. Let's be a liberation generation. I think we can really do it. So it's young people, but it's all people coming together of all generations, and it's really beautiful to see all you out here today. I really encourage you to check out what's going on, but let's get a strategy to really win, because it's time. It's time to win and take this shit back. All right.
Okay, anyone else? Any sisters want to come up and share the story why you're here, share your experience? Don't be shy.
Hi, so I'm here with Women Organized to Resist and Defend. My name is Megan, and I mean, we call this because obviously everybody who's here was outraged about what happened on Monday and what's been happening for years, that the Supreme Court started an opportunity for more companies to say, we don't want to provide contraceptive coverage, and that this is just one more step, that they've been attacking the right of access to abortion and to contraceptives on the local level, on the state level, on the federal courts, and we're here to say that it's not acceptable. And so I know same reason, and I kind of wanted to start a chant to kind of get people a little bit excited too. So, we need reproductive rights. We are here and ready to fight. We need reproductive rights.
We are here and ready to fight.
We need reproductive rights.
We are here and ready to fight.
We need reproductive rights.
We are here and ready to fight.
Because contraception is a vital part of healthcare. It is making it so that women can choose what happens. It is not our boss's right to choose what is best for us. And for it being these corporations, it's not even our bosses. It's our bosses' bosses. All the way up to the top of the corporations. That it's those that don't even know you who are making these choices for you. And that's not right, and that's not acceptable, and we're here to say no! So I want to thank everybody for coming out here tonight. As Nancy was saying earlier, we want to have a follow-up meeting on July 16th at 6:30 because this isn't over. It's not over for them, and it's not over for us. And as some of the sign says, as this sign says right here, when women organize, we can win.
How many people here are pissed off right now? Say with me, without this basic right, women can't be free. Abortion on demand and without apology. Without this basic right, women can't be free. Abortion on demand and without apology. Let him hear you. Without this basic right, women can't be free. Abortion on demand and without apology. Fuck the Supreme Court. Hey, I'm Larry Everest. I write for Revolution. I'm a supporter of stark patriarchy, and I am in unity with every single person out here, man and woman, and some of the brothers ought to step forward here now. This is a fight for all of humanity. This isn't just a quote-unquote women's issue. You cannot liberate humanity if half of the humanity is enslaved. You can't do that. So get up off whatever bullshit you got and come up here and fight for women's basic rights right now. If you don't know what's going on, come up here and find out. Sign up for Stop Patriarchy. Sign up for NOW. Sign up for WORD. Join these other groups. We have to stop this. What is going on right now is the enslavement of women. Just like black people were enslaved in direct slavery 150 some years ago and are still enslaved to mass incarceration right now. Don't let any of these people lie to you about the right to life. Bullshit. They don't care about women. What about women's lives? They want to enslave women and rob women of the chance to determine their lives and their destiny. And the Supreme Court is lying. They're trying to make you think this is no big deal. It is a big deal. It means that capitalists who own corporations can tell women, oh hey, giving you this birth control or giving you any kind of health care is against our religious beliefs. That's what's going on. And relying on these courts and relying on the Democrats, where has it gotten us? It's gotten us nowhere. Nowhere. It's on everybody here to get involved and to do everything possible we can to have protests, to have marches, to rally millions of people to stop this, because that's the only thing that is going to stop this.
After I'm done, I'm happy for you to say something, but I'm not organizing, so these guys, talk to them. They're the organizers. They just allowed me to speak. So, I also want to say, and I'm going to wrap up here, and I really appreciate the work of Stop Patriarchy and Now and Word and the other groups. Answer Coalition supported this. Code Pink! Oh my God! And she's got pink on. How could I forget? All the groups that came together. That we at Revolution are telling people that if we don't have a revolution and a whole different system, women are going to remain enslaved. We have to prepare the ground, prepare the people, and prepare the vanguard for the time when we can rise up in millions and bring this system down and put something better in its place. Get with Revolution newspaper, get with this new synthesis of Bob of Aiken, and get with the revolution as we are joining together to fight the oppression of women in this horrific attack. Thank you so much.
Would like to say a few words.
I'd just like to say, if the government really was pro-life, they wouldn't be spending billions of dollars killing people in other countries, and they would spend more money on health care instead of spying on you. Thank you.
No, I will. Just give me a second. I got a couple people who want to speak. Next, I want to introduce Sarah, who's here from Word, to say a few words too.
Hey, yeah, so, I mean, first I want to thank all of the organizations that put this together and came out, and all of the individuals who came to support. I think everyone standing in this circle understands the significance of what's going on. But for anybody who is not standing in this circle, who is walking by and wants to know what's going on, there are plenty of organizers who will be happy to tell you about the Hobby Lobby verdict that was pushed down by the Supreme Court. There are a couple of things that I want to say about some of the specifics about this idea that the morning after pill and the IUD are forms of abortion. I mean, like, I think we need to pay attention to what people are actually saying, because this is the argument. They're using completely non-scientific arguments to back up their moralistic bullshit and say, we're not allowed to. The IUD is an extremely effective and efficient form of birth control. And other things that are out there might be more accessible on a day-to-day basis, but they're not as effective either. And to say that these things are equivalent to abortion is not true. Of course, abortion is a right, but there has to be some sort of honesty going on, and we have to talk about what they're actually saying in order to fight against it. Because it's complete lies. It's the same way that they were saying that when the Obama administration was trying to keep the Plan B pill, the morning after pill, off of the shelves and accessible to people, even after the FDA said this is a completely safe drug and should be available over the counter. I wanted to bring that up, and I also wanted to say, I think someone earlier was talking about these groups and how they are not pro-life, they are anti-choice. And I completely agree with that sentiment, and I just want to add on top of that to say none of these groups are expressing their moral outrage of women not having support for their children, healthcare support, not having maternity leave, not having access to childcare, and basic needs to raise raise these children. They don't care what happens to these kids after they're born. And it's really important, I think, to just remember that as we move forward. Again, I want to thank all the organizations that put this together. Stop by everyone's table, sign up, get involved.